All right, this is how we're doing this today. All right, I think we're live. What's going on, everybody? Josh O'Leary here. That's right, a little bit different again. A little bit different again here on Survivor Digest on the Slipper House Extra Extra YouTube channel. Here I am, going to recap Survivor for you, episode 10, Josh O'Leary, Survivor Digest. You know, last time we did this in the kitchen, and scheduling permitting, uh, I got to do it here tonight. I got to do it here tonight. I don't have the chat on. Is that yeah, I don't have the chat on. I can turn it on. There we go. Hope all is well, dude. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, man. I'll turn the chat on for this episode. Why not? Um, Welcome everybody in. This is Survivor Digest. This is where I recap the reality television show Survivor. And we've got a heck of a season here in season 48, and I've been recapping all of it. If you'd like to check out the previous recaps, they're all here in the Survivor Digest playlist, in the playlist section over on the little tabs up at the top on the homepage there on the Slipper House Extra Extra YouTube channel. Just click one of those, head on over there, and you can start at episode 1. Actually, you could start at season 47 recap with me and Nate. Me and Nate did a recap of last season. And that's kind of what prompted our coverage of this season, giving it its own show, right? We also have our flagship program, Pro Wrestling Sauce, Wednesdays, 10:15, right here on the Slipper House Extra Extra YouTube channel. Me and Nate breaking down all the wrestling. So if you're into pro wrestling, if you're into comedy, we got House Assembly, Sundays at 9. If you're into Survivor, if you're into reality television, goofs and gaffs and fun and laughs, it's all right here on the Slipper House Extra Extra YouTube channel. Now that those beginning plugs are out of the way, let's get right into Survivor, right? Episode 10 of season 48. We start off with night 17. We're on night 17. It's flying by. Remember, only 26 days. Only 26 days, so it is flying by. We're back from Tribal. Mary feels demoralized after David's vote out, because her and David were a strong pair. Mary and David had all of a sudden become a very tight-knit pair. Eva tells Mary she will vote for her and not use the idol on her. Eva is very blunt with Mary and says, hey, listen, I'm probably not going to use my idol on you, and I'm probably going to vote for you, just straight up. So this isn't the only time Mary gets confronted very, very boldly. I'm surprised every time someone kind of comes up to Mary and just tells them what they tell her. Eva is feeling way too overconfident. That's what I wrote here in my notes. As you guys know, I take notes every Survivor, so I got loaded up on notes and I try to hit everything. Right, so my note here, and the pink ones are my thoughts. The pink little blurbs here are my thoughts. Eva's feeling way too overconfident. What the hell? So Star, Camilla, and Mary are eyeing Mitch to team up with them and take out Joe. So these are everybody on the bottom. You got Star, Camilla, Mary. Those three are on the bottom. They want to team up. They want to take out Mitch. I mean, they want to take out Joe with Mitch. The only problem is Mitch is going to be, gosh, I just so wanted to say Mitch is going to be a little bitch. That's what I wanted to say. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to be a little bitch about this for no reason. He's going to say he can't trust these people. Dude, you can't trust the people you're aligned with. What are you talking about? Like, oh my goodness, we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't get me started. I was a big Dangerous Mitch fan, so it was very devastating. This episode was devastating to the Dangerous Mitch army. Dangerous, I no longer think is viable as a first name for Mitch. I don't think it's a viable first name, unfortunately. Ooh, Mitch. Sorry, I was trying to see the chat there. Mitch. Yeah, well, Mitch, it's just Mitch now. You're right, just Mitch. So let's see here. So then we have, okay, so Mitch does have a great moment in this episode. It's a really great moment here. Mitch reenacts and tells a story from when he was a mailman. And this was a really funny story. He tells the story about how there's a pit bull snarling at him and it starts chasing him. and he falls flat on his face and embarrasses himself in front of a bunch of people, but it turns out the dog was chained up. It's a really good. I'm not doing it justice. You got to go listen to Mitch tell this story because Mitch is just blows this story out of the water. He's definitely told it before. This is a go-to laugh story for Mitch. Mitch can pull this one out of the bag anytime he's with a group of people, and he will win them over. This was a great story. This was a great story. Um, Joe tries to solidify Mitch within the six, within the Joe six, the Joe and Eva six, which is so dumb. They keep calling it a six to certain people, then a four to certain people, then a five to certain people. Depends on who they're talking to, right? Um, the Integrity Alliance, right? Overconfident Joe and Eva are annoying. I need them to have a bit of a harder time, is what I wrote here. Eva especially has an easy ride, is what I wrote here, because that's it does. It's the way it seems. I mean, finding an advantage in a chip bowl and just being loaded up with all these advantages, people just handing them to you, people on your tribe just handing them to you. You've got big, masculine father figure Joe watching your back, making sure no one's bringing up your name as well. Eva's got it easy. She's got it very easy. And then, hey, Paul, what's going on, man? Good to see you down there. Doing a Survivor recap. It's a little bit different than the wrestling coverage, I know. Uh, Future jury member, Dangerous Mitch. Yeah, well, he may be a dangerous jury member. I mean, that's possible. We went to a commercial break here, and then now we're at day 18. So day 18 here on Survivor, season 48. Mitch goes. Everybody's waking up and complaining about how Mitch. Okay, I lied. We got another great Mitch moment here. Everybody's complaining that Mitch goes to sleep super fast. Like whenever they go to camp, Mitch just goes right to bed. And it's like instantly, and he snores loud as hell, they say he's like snoring super, super loud. And he doesn't care either. They're waking him up. He's like, y'all got to go to sleep faster then. Mitch doesn't give a shit, dude. What a baller. Star walks to the well with Mitch, and she tries to convince Mitch to vote with her, but he's not biting. And he calls Star a joke in a confessional. And I'm like, Mitch, what are you doing right now? He's like, I don't trust Star. And it's what? I know Star is all over the place and kind of flaky, but I don't know if the edit is doing this, but by the edit and what I'm judging by the edit here, Star seems fun. Like seems like she may not be very strategic whatsoever at all. But that can't be the case. That can't even be the case. She's trying to strategize with you right here, Mitch. The little bit of strategy that she's going to try to pull out here. She's trying to do. I realize she wrote your name down last week, Mitch, but please have the gall and the awareness to realize that this is Star not knowing what's going on. Star had no idea what was going on last week, dude. And that's why your name got written down. She thought that's the way the group was voting. So you got to understand that you shouldn't trust the big group. You should be trusting Star, who thought she was voting with the group. The group told her to write your name down, dude. Like, oh my goodness. What do we got in here? We got a couple chats here. Eva got her advantages because she likes snacks and has a dad on the island. Yeah, it's not a lie. Just came in to tell you I will be in tomorrow and I'll be watching SmackDown because I will be sleeping at my cousin's. All right, sick. Hell yeah, dude. Watching SmackDown. Hell yeah, gonna be a good Friday night. Friday night with the boys. Over here on the Slipperhouse Extra Extra YouTube channel. That's right. Join me and Paul in the chat. I'm sure Dirt will be there as well for Friday Night SmackDown vertical live stream here. We'll be watching a little bit of SmackDown together, talking about it. Back to Survivor here. So Mitch isn't biting on Star's, proposal here. Camilla informs Kyle of her, Star, and Mary's plan, but then Kyle isn't budging. See, this is where I start to get mad. This episode made me mad. It did. It made me mad quite a few times. Kyle made me mad here. Camilla goes up to him. This is your number two, your secret number two. You guys have been flying under the radar the entire season. supposedly, by the edits standard. You guys have been flying under the radar. And she's been putting in work too, right? We haven't been seeing maybe as much of it as we've been seeing of Kyle, but Camilla's been keeping her mouth shut and been keep uh, doing her part in this alliance as well. The first thing she does is this is the first thing she's really brought to Kyle to do is like make a move here. And you've got 7 days left here, left in the game, guys. 7 days. Okay. I think Mitch even brings this up at the challenge that there's only 7 days left. There's 7 days left. It is time to make a move, man. Come on. Like all these, you got people saying they're not even thinking about the final three. Are you kidding me? Like, who is this cast? Who is this cast that isn't thinking about final three when there's like, 6 people left? I don't under. It is insane to me, um, the way they're talking a little bit. Uh, let's see here. See you tomorrow, Paul. I see that. I see that. See you tomorrow, man. Have a good night, dude. Have a good night. Peace and love. Uh, so yeah, dude. Kyle's not biting with on Camilla's thing because Kyle's like, "Oh, I shared some really personal moments with Joe." Like you shared some dude. You told Joe that you used to be a party boy and you used to underage drink, and then you went to jail and they treated you really good in jail, and you still got to finish your classes and all this. Dude, you had like a luxury jail visit, uh, and you tried to play it off as some sort of trauma when Joe, earlier in the season was showing photographs of his parents standing in front of segregated water fountains. You got to bring us something a little bit more to the table, Kyle, than you smoked some weed and drove drunk once. Okay, no one gives a shit. God, you pissed me off this episode, Kyle. I'm gonna get hot. I feel like. So yeah, he's like, I don't want to go do this plan with Camilla. I want to keep Camilla happy, but I can't do this plan because I've shared such personal connections with Joe. Dude, whose side are you on, Kyle? You got to pick a side at this point. Like I said, 7 days left in the game. You can't keep Camilla a secret this for the whole time. You're not going to be able to get to Final Tribal and just pop off and be like, oh, me and Camilla, we were together the whole time. Got you guys. I mean, I just don't see that happening. Only one of you is going to make it, and you need to cut these other people before you have to cut her. Okay, you need that. You can't just be like, I want to keep this alliance and this alliance. It's not going to work like that with this once it starts dwindling down. You know, you got to choose a side here. You got to take some of those strong people out. There's more strong people on that integrity alliance. That strong 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good Lord, Kyle. Kyle just all over the place this episode. Kyle and Mitch, their fall from grace here. Their fall from grace. Um, Next twist should be a shipping container opening challenge when they open the doors. Mickey Rourke and JoJo Siwa come out to join the cast. Oh no, no, Mickey Rourke would die on that island. Are you kidding me? He would die. There's no makeup room. He would die. He's gonna have to look good for the cameras. He's not, a little too woke for him, probably, Survivor. I'm surprised they let him in a Big Brother house, to be honest. Um, Pretty crazy. Anyway, so yeah, Kyle, he thinks he's in the middle. He's not. He's with Camilla first and foremost. And why is this even a topic of discussion? He's considering people's feelings way too much. He's considering Joe's feelings, I feel like, a lot more than Camilla's. He's like, oh, well, what about Joe? I shared personal. I can't do that to Joe. Dude, you can't do that to Camilla. You're ride or die since day one. The fuck you talking about, Kyle? Um, Camilla needs to take the pants in this relationship. That's what I wrote down here. She needs to take the pants in this relationship. She needs to start, pretty much, I would almost make it a threat to Kyle. Like, you need to vote this way, or I'm telling everyone, like, we're together now. Like, I don't know, put some oomph behind it a little bit. Camilla is a little bit too quiet and gets walked on a little bit by Kyle in this alliance. I feel like, you know, not only in confessionals, but I believe so in the actual alliance as well. Uh, we get into a commercial break, and then we come back, and it's a regular reward challenge. Wow, big surprise here. A regular reward challenge, no twist, no turn. Uh, this is a dumb as shit reward challenge. This reward challenge was terrible. The challenge itself, I mean. They tie their arms and legs together and make them crawl like grubs on the ground through the sand they have to crawl over these hills, these little tiny hills that they built as their arms and legs are tied together. It looks so stupid. It was bad to watch. And then once they get to the end, after they're done scooting their way through the sand, they have to toss a key ring onto hooks. Like, what the challenges this season have been dog shit, dude. Awful, awful, awful stuff. This is all to promote their stupid Survivor game that they're selling at Target, their little card game, board game, or whatever it is. So some of the challenges that they've presented on this season, like the rolling of the dice that wasn't so popular within the Survivor community online, that one, a bunch of other different challenges that they've had are available in this Survivor game. So if you guys want to get pissed off and play them in real life, you have the ability to do so. Actually, Cowboy Nate, he told me that the Survivor game is actually really fun, and that I would love it. So it's probably a fun game, but it's for at home. It's not for on the island in Fiji, Jeff. Okay, we're on the island in Fiji. Let's not play Monopoly out here to determine someone's stakes in the game. So this final 8 reward challenge, like I said, very stupid. Everyone slithering on the ground like grubs. Disgusting. The reward is fried chicken and waffles. And then we had our first musical moment of the episode. And this is where Jeff forcibly, like you could tell, Jeff forcibly is making them sing fried chicken and waffles. Fried chicken and waffles. Dude, it was weird. He made them sing this fried chicken and waffle song, and then Shaheen was like, saying, what was he saying? He was like, savory, sweet, we want to eat. Savory, sweet, we want to eat, or something like that. He was like, I don't. It was so stupid. They put a little beat behind it. This was the first time they would do this in this episode. They did redeem themselves by the second time with this presentation, but this was not it. This was not good stuff. This seemed very forced. If you look on some of the people's faces, they do not want to do it. I think Mary was vocal about it on Twitter about how she didn't want to do it. I had a good laugh at that. Yeah, this was stupid. Jeff, cut it out with the food. Just stick with the Macho Man, Randy Savage things. You should have just been like fried chicken and waffle sandwiches. Oh yeah, syrup on top. Mm. Yeah, stick to that. That's the easiest way to do it. And this is all going to be eaten on a picnic on an island. So, I don't know how many people are going to go yet at this point in the episode, but it's going to be on an island. I wrote this is the dumbest looking challenge. I already went over that. Camilla is in dead last in the crawling portion of this. Camilla just, arms and legs tied together, can't get across here. Joe, of course, is across first. Big, strong man. Joe, the big, giant grub. You remember that big? You guys remember the Sylvester Stallone ants? The ant from Ants? Sylvester Stallone, he like voiced an ant from Ant. That's Joe. He's like, oh, I'm gonna crawl through the sand. My word is my bond. I would never break my word. How dare David say I would break my word? Like, that's Joe. He's a big dumb ant. Yeah, Joe finishes first. Of course. What else are we gonna? Who else is gonna be? Everyone is tossing by the time Camilla gets there. Remember, they got to toss a ring like this onto a platform thing. They got to get 3 rings. Everyone's tossing by the time Camilla gets across, and Kyle's. They make it seem like Joe's gonna win this thing, but Kyle wins this reward And then he chooses Eva. He chooses Eva to go with him first. Eva, like I was so surprised by that first pick. I was like, Eva, the girl who has everything, she's gonna find up. There's gonna be a reward in her guacamole. You know, I was like, oh God, dude, she's gonna get more power here in this situation. Like, why would you pick Eva, dude? He says it with every pick here was strategic. Later on, he has a confessional where he says everybody he took here to the reward was a strategic move. I mean, every move you're making at this point is a strategic move. So that's redundant to say, I feel. But nonetheless, Kyle picking Eva. Bozo move number 7 here from Kyle. I don't even know. I'm losing count, right? Camilla, he picks next, which I'm like, thank God he picked Camilla. Like, thank God he didn't just screw Camilla over for absolutely zero reason, right? Um, and then he gets to pick one more, and I'm like, Jesus, Jeff, there's only going to be 4 people left back at camp. You might as well just rewarded everybody and left one person out or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like too many people get to go on the reward. And then he picks Shaheen as well to go on the reward um, to enjoy a picnic of fried chicken and waffles. And thank God they didn't bust out into the song again. Thank God the song didn't come again. As we go into the commercial break, Mitch is feeling duped. He's feeling duped. He's like, man, I thought I was going to get picked, which I was like, why do you think you're going to get picked, Mitch? Why do you think you're going to get picked? Have you been picked this whole season? You're getting your hopes up now? Mitch is flabbergasting me this episode. You know, really flabbergasting me. Let me read chat here. Got a couple things. The next twist should be a show. Oh, I read that one. The Milk Alliance is the only surefire plan to get in the final tribal council. Milk Alliance is dead. David's gone. Mary's the last one standing out of the Milk Alliance. She was the only one drinking the whole milk, I believe, anyway. So, classic worm and sand carnival ring toss challenge. Yeah, it was. It was literally they were like, I'm going to dress you up like grubs and then make you toss some rings. Final four challenge. Jeff brings out the at-home Survivor board game. God damn it. He's like, all right, guys, we're gonna roll. We're gonna play a round of this board game. I mean, you might as well have. You might as well have. Take them to the rewards and then vote them out. They'll vouch for you in the final count. Oh, yeah, well, yes. That it, but it also nowadays, the word jury management exists and people know you're doing it, which Joe gets called out for later in this episode. I have it written down here. He does get called out for some jury management. And people kind of don't like it when you're just kind of like buttering them up because they know you're going to get voted out. They don't like that shit. I wouldn't like that either. So don't be so bold with it, saying it to my face. Come back from commercial break. We're on the food reward. Eva reassures us in a confessional that she is confident, right? She's super confident. And this pisses me off because I started to like Eva. It seemed like I was starting to trend toward, um, you know, being in the fan realm of babyface Eva. But her heel turn here for me is slowly commencing, I feel. She's just constantly talking about how great it is, how easy it is. She can just sit there. And I'm like, first of all, saying it's easy is, I hope she says that at final. If she makes it there, if she says that at final tribal, you're not getting a single vote, girl. That's this jury that's going up there right now. It seems like it's not. Joe and Eva are going to have a tough time getting votes. They seemed like they would be the ones that would be the shoe-ins for winners, maybe 2 episodes ago. But at this point, it seems like those two, and the way they've kind of controlled the narrative here on the island, um, that jury is not going to throw them a single vote. Whoever is the third man or woman sitting there, I believe, will be the winner if those other two are sitting there. Uh, yeah, let's see. Food reward. Eva reassures us. Kyle says he initially left out the people on purpose and wants them to be as mad as possible. Everybody back on the island, Kyle wants you to be as mad as possible. I don't understand his strategy here. Um, yeah, I don't get it why you would want to piss them off. Um, I would try to be as neat as possible if it was possible. If not, whatever. But Joe thinks Kyle didn't pick him. Joe thinks Kyle didn't pick him to babysit the others, and he sits down with Mary. This is it. Joe sits down with Mary and explains to her that pairing up with David made her a villain. He said, "You're the villain." And I hope you just understand that. You know that. Like he was just doing straight up jury management. And Mary calls him out on it in a side confessional. And she's like, I think it's disgusting. It's, what are you doing? You're buttering me up because you're just pretty much saying you're going home. Sorry. I'm controlling this game. It is what it is. Like, but what a weird thing and dumb thing for Joe to do. There's a vote gone for you if Mary does end up on the jury, Joe. Um, Joe is right though. Can I say that though? Joe is right. Like Joe is correct in that like Mary teamed up with David and became the villain, like she did. Then David was part of that Integrity Alliance, and then he brought Mary into it, and that's what broke up that whole alliance, dude. That's what broke it up. Is you brought Mary into it, and you know, you brought Yoko into the Beatles. You broke up the band. Now David's gonna come out with a solo record. You know, imagine there's no whole milk. All right. So Joe gets his jury management called out by Mary. I said that. Mary tries to sway Mitch before the immunity challenge. So before we go to the immunity challenge, Mary is going to try to sway Mitch, and it works. It works for a brief moment. It works for a brief moment on Mitch, and Mitch. It seems like Dangerous Mitch is back. I'm like, oh my God, Dangerous Mitch, he's back. He's going to take him out with Mary. He's going to be on the side of things. I even wrote that. I said, "Fucking take him out, Mitch. You the man." And then we went to another commercial break, and then we're at the final 8 immunity challenge. So we're at the final 8 immunity challenge. This is a wobbly table challenge. I know how everybody loves their wobbly table challenges. Um, this is a wobbly table, and you got to make a stack of blocks. This is like a challenge for I don't know. I guess I mean they say don't do it until you go out there and try it. It seems like the worst part of this thing was the bees and the flies flying around everybody's face and the heat. That seemed like the worst elements of this challenge. People's towers, of course, keep tipping over. Joe and Kyle, of course, comes down to them two again. How repetitive is this season at this point? Joe and Kyle, it comes down to again. If David was there, he would have been in the mix. For goodness sakes, the season really missed out on losing Thomas so early. I believe. I believe he was going to be the shining star, and they should have put a advantage in his bowl of chips. Fucking producers. Um, so yeah, so let's see. Oh yeah, wobbly table, litter blocks. Jeff offers some rice. I don't know where Jeff. He's offering rice. Why are you offering rice, Jeff? We've got 7 days left. You think they give a shit about rice, dude? They've already made it over halfway, dude. They're almost done at this point. And you're like, hey, if anybody wants to sit out of the challenge, there's some rice. Can you stop it with this shit? Is this just to fill air? What is it? I don't get it, Jeff. I don't get it. Joe broke up the alliance by freaking out. Well, David kind of broke up. You mean David, I think. You get Joe and David, their names mixed up. But yeah, David, he did freak out though. He did freak out and he was just like, hey, going to everybody, and telling Joe. He messed up by telling Joe that Joe wasn't keeping his word. As soon as he told Joe that he didn't keep his word, Joe was like, oh, hell no. Joe went full blown steroids coach, coach on steroids. Um, Survivor 41, 40, wait, Survivor 41 winner. 41? That was a while ago. And Erica won 41. Awful season. It is really bad. Um, so yeah, this rice offering from Jeff was very stupid. Very stupid rice offering from Jeff. Mitch rightfully tells Jeff that 7 days are left, and I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking that this whole episode. I literally wrote it down multiple times in this episode that Jeff, there's only 7 days. Everyone on the island, there's only 7 days. Stop thinking like you're going to be here another 20 days. They're talking about it strategically like that as well, amongst one another in the voting out of their fellow tribe mates here. And I cannot believe it from this cast, right? It makes me miss the Gabon like season we had uh, last season, or the season before that even. Um, just bonkers and chaos, and everybody willing to, you know, cut whoever, and then still willing to throw the vote in a correct and I believe fair way at tribal. This one's going to be bonkers, right? I feel like this one at this point is going to be the two most loyal integrity people who are loyal to one another. If they get to the final two, they're toast, right? And I think a lot of people at home will be shocked. Like, oh my gosh. Especially if they get there, like, and Shaheen beats them or something like that. Like, wow. My goodness. Um, so let's get back to the actual immunity challenge, guys. I keep straying off. Um, Joe, Joe is so extra. Joe kisses each block before placing it. He's like, mwah, mwah, and places it. Like, no, he doesn't do that. He's not that flamboyant about it, but he's kissing the blocks. He's telling the blocks to say, hey, you stay right there. He's like treating the blocks like his kids. Um, I thought that was cringe, but it's all love from Joe. Dangerous Mitch is focused. He looked like they had an edit here like he was about to win. And then they disappointed me. I was like, oh, Dangerous Mitch, he's back. Dangerous Mitch is not back, okay? He is not back. Do not believe the hype. He dropped, and it was very sad. Mitch and Shaheen are both one letter away at one point, and they both drop, and it was very sad. I was like, oh no, I'll take either one of these over Joe. So Joe wins. Joe wins immunity, guys. Duh. Mitch, Mary, Star, and Camilla need to target Eva. That's what I wrote here in my notes. I said they need to target Eva. It's getting disgusting. Why are you not targeting the other person? Just because Joe won immunity doesn't mean everything has fallen apart. But that's how this group thinks. They're just like, everything's falling apart at this point. There's no way we can actually take out Eva. We're going to have to take out the other big guy, which is Kyle. That's how they're going to start thinking here. Um, I wrote here, this is the third immunity win for Joe. And I said the look on David's face as he walks into tribal to be part of the jury is going to be one of disgust. This man is going to be sick looking at Joe. He's going to be straight up sick. Okay. Hey, Mike, what's going on? I see you down there. How you doing, man? Just recapping some Survivor here. And then we went to a commercial break. So that's a good part. I can sit up a little bit and check out the chat. What's going on, Mike? How you doing, man? Dirt says he was kissing those blocks like they were cartoon, like they were a cartoon kitten, and he was a giant cartoon bulldog. He was, dude. He was like, "Mwah." Like, what are you doing, Joe? What are you doing, dude? So extra, man. He's so like, I'm a man. Calm down, man. I would be awestruck though by Joe. If I met him in person, he seems like he's very polarizing. Very, he's got an aura about him. You're kind of good. I'm about the same. I was about to be like, what? No, I'm the same. I'm the same, Mike. Just recapping Survivor, man. Right? Recapping Survivor. Giving my thoughts and my insight into this beautiful reality television show. So we're back from immunity here, and Mitch tells Star to play her shot in the dark. Mitch is laying on a hammock, like, all depressed, seconds away from falling asleep and snoring and pissing everyone off. And he tells Star comes by to try to like pitch her case to him, and here comes Mitch with no, let me just shovel dirt on all of everything you have to say, Star, by saying, please play your shot in the dark because I'm probably voting for you. And I wrote, this is so dumb of Mitch. And I said, Mitch is wallowing. He's spiraling here. It's about over for Mitch. 7 days left, Mitch. You said it yourself. Flip it around, bozo. That's what I wrote down. Flip it around. It doesn't matter if you trust these people on the bottom, okay? This is Mitch's big problem. He says it in a confessional. They pulled Mitch aside for a confessional, and he says, I can't trust these people to do this move. I want to do this move. I want to take these people out. I want some recognition. I want some control of my game. I can't do it because I don't trust these people. Dude, you don't trust the people that you're in the alliance with. Yeah, they've kept you around, but that's because you're number six, dude. You're number six. They're not at six yet. You know, you're on the bottom of this big integrity alliance that you weren't a part of to begin with. They brought you in as a number. You know this, okay? You've got nothing to lose at this point. There are 7 people left in the game, dude. You're not going to win $1 million biting your nails, Mitch. Okay? Where's that three sinking, puzzle solving, golden god? Where did he go? Where did Mitch go? My God, the show Survivor? Yeah, absolutely, dude. The reality television show. It's been on for almost 50 seasons at this point. And we get Mary telling Camilla to vote um, for Kyle. And I'm like, oh no, is Camilla gonna do it? Because as soon as she said you should vote for Kyle, I was like, maybe. I mean, Kyle was talking crazy earlier here. Maybe you should vote for Kyle, Camilla. Maybe this will work out. I mean, this guy was all over the place. I mean, he was considering, not helping you, but also not helping you. If that makes any sense. He was going to do nothing. He was going to sit in purgatory and watch you suffer. Um, and get voted out if that had to be the case. So maybe you should. Maybe you should. Uh, let's see. Mary tells Camilla, uh, but Camilla turns on Mary. As soon as Mary tells her, Camilla goes and turns on her, and freaking tells Kyle, dude. She tells out Kyle, uh, and this just throws everything into chaos here. So Mary's trying to pitch her case to Shaheen, and Shaheen's actually buying it. Surprisingly, I don't know. Shaheen's very trustworthy of most people, you know, um, and he buys it. And out of nowhere, this is where I'm like baffled. So I feel like the focus has been on Mitch this episode. Like it's been Mitch heavy, Kyle heavy, Mary heavy a little bit, and out of nowhere, it's like the vote Star. What? Why is the vote Star? Why are we voting for Star? What? Star, the person who's not like strategizing? You don't see her strategizing with the others on the beach. You don't see her sitting with the group in the morning on the beach. You don't see Star is to herself and herself 24/7. She's not shy by any means, but she's definitely to herself and for herself out there on that island. And she's made some bonehead decisions. She's not the greatest player out there, um, which is exactly why I would not vote her out. I do not understand. Like, if I'm sitting next to Star at the end, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like if it's Star and someone else there at the end, Joe or whoever that I can take. This is baffling gameplay from everyone on the island here. Um, who's thinking Star. I wrote these people are idiots, and so Star has a side confessional. They go to Star for a side confessional, and this is where we get the greatest musical moment in Survivor history. We just had the worst musical moment in Survivor history with the chicken and waffle song, the awful chicken and waffle song, right? And Star is like, hey, I like to rap when I'm back home. She goes, I like to rap when I'm back home. And Star busts out hot bars, dude. Just straight fire from Star's mouth, dude. Just starts, and then they put a little beat behind it too to match up with it. And I was like, oh shit. And dude, Star just started going in, talking about how she couldn't trust nobody out there and everybody's scheming and plotting. And I was like, dude, Star is the fucking shit. I love Star Toomey. She is number one. Um, that's why I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I'm like, this is what Star is concerned about. Star's concerned about making great raps. She's concerned about making great raps for the confessionals. And you guys are wanting to vote her out because you think she's too shifty or what? I feel like Star's been quiet this whole season and she's just now starting to like play. And people are like, yo, what the hell Star doing? Whoa, Star, man, you trying to like play Survivor right now, dude? We gotta get you out of here, man. Like, what, Star? Star has been calm this whole time, dude, and she's definitely not stealing votes from you at Final Tribal. So you guys are bonkers to even consider Star, um, who has the sick bars. Let's give Star her proper flowers here. I'm hoping that's up on Spotify soon. I'll be playing it often. It'll probably be my ringtone soon. Star number one. Joe correctly thinks Mary is the most dangerous as they head to tribal council right before the commercial break. So let me read a little bit of chat here. Yeah, before we go to commercial break here. Mr. Beast. It's like Mr. Beast. Oh, yeah. Everyone out here telling. No, not Star. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Survivor 48, Clown Island. Pretty much, dude. At this point, at this point. So let's go to Tribal Council, guys. Tribal Council, the jury comes in, and we're getting a nice full row of death stares. Starting with Cedric and ending with David there as the third. Cedric, Chrissy, and David. The jury members, death staring. Anybody left in the game here. David especially has that death stare locked in, dude. He has it locked in, and he's not letting go. Mary points out the big group is just smaller groups together. I love tribal council sometimes because it's just dribble, right? They're all tired as fuck. It seems like they're all so tired, and Jeff's like, Mary, tell me how it is, and Mary just gives them like answer that's like a big group is a bunch of smaller groups, and you don't know who to trust. It's a repetitive. You don't know who to trust. I don't know. We've had 50 seasons of this at this point. Like, Jeff, you got to start. Jeff at this point is just asking people like their strategies and stuff straight up. He's exposing people's games at this point. Star is straight up and puts it all on the table. And then they go to Kyle and Jeff. And this is my point here. They go to Kyle and Jeff asks Kyle a question and Kyle's answering it. In the middle of answering it, he just stops and is like, "Dude, I totally forgot what I was even talking about." And then Jeff goes, "See, that's what I'm talking about. Here on Survivor, you can't keep your train of thought because you're tired and you're hungry." And I'm surprised he wasn't like, "I offered you rice. You could have had some rice. Your brain would have been feeling better." And the big subject matter going into this is trust or paranoia. Is this trust or paranoia? Jeff asked them, "Do you have trust or paranoia?" And Mary says she has trust, which is the weirdest thing to say. You should have paranoia. I don't think you trust anybody out there. And she says, the people that have gotten voted out have been paranoid. And this makes David mad. David's death stare turns into a doom stare, and it is drilling a hole right through Mary's chest. And David is pissed off, dude. He is pissed off, especially at that. Like, what? You're calling me paranoid? Which David was. David was very paranoid. Mary says, "Oh yeah." Mary dogs the jury. I said, and I, LOL. What the fuck, Mary? Now it's vote time. Death stare from David the whole time. Everybody walking up to this podium to write down a vote is getting a death stare from David. That's right, Dirt. I see the eyes down there in the chat. Mike says, I never know who will be voted off. I never know either. I kind of try to predict it throughout the episode. And I was predicting it here. I wrote it early in my notes that Mitch was going to go home. For some reason, I was feeling Mitch. He was on a downward spiral this episode, and I was like, they're definitely voting him. And as we went into tribal, it shifted. It shifted from is it going to be Star or Mary? And I was like, Star or Mary? What the fuck? Like, I understand Mary. She was part of the David thing from last episode. You get rid of the second half this time. But why Star? Why? What? Star? This made no sense. This made no sense to do this as a group. Um, we go to vote, and Death stare from David the whole time. You see Mary's vote; she votes for Star, and you see Star's vote; she votes for Mary. And this is a back and forth on the votes, right? It's pretty evenly tied until the very end, and then Star is voted out. Fucking Star. Yeah, Mary Ono. Yeah, I think I don't know if that one's gonna fly online. Maybe, considering you know, I don't know, might people might not get mad. I don't know. David doesn't look anything like John Lennon. Tell you that. Mm, mm, mm. Star voted out. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to our castaway. Rest in peace to our queen of the island, Star Toomey. I love Star Toomey. I wish I saw more of her this season. Every time I did see her, I enjoyed her. I actually was kind of hating on her a little bit at the beginning of the season. I saw everybody's hot takes, and Stars made absolutely no sense. But now it makes total sense to me. No gripes. No gripes. I remember, no gripes. And yeah, man, sad day for Star. I love Star updates on Twitter. I feel bad for them. Someone needs to check on Star updates on Twitter and make sure that they are okay. Um, Yeah, man. Star went out gracefully. I loved the fact that Star did not turn around and say, bye, good luck, everybody. Because fuck you. You voted out Star, you idiots. Star, who was willing to go there to the final three with some of y'all and not get any votes. Star would have been completely okay with it. Star would have been a great team player all the way through. And you bozo clowns got rid of her, right? You didn't get rid of Mary, the one who disrupted your alliance and made David go crazy. You didn't do that. No, 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 no. We're going to get rid of Star, right? Who is a exceptional basketball player and rapper, and isn't really bothering anybody's alliances. I mean, she may be trying to like make her way into one, or like seeing if somebody wants to vote her way, play a little survivor out there on the island now and then. But she was by no means been as strategic as the rest of you. At by no means. So you guys voting out the weakest link is really weird. It's really weird, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Um, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. At this point, I don't think Mitch is in. At this point, I think there's like, I think there's two people on this island right now that could win. I think there's two in my book. If I'm sitting on that jury, there's two people at this moment, episode 10, season 48, that would win, and that's Shaheen and Kyle, and possibly Camilla, possibly a third small one for Camilla, maybe small percentage for Camilla. She does have a chance, but Kyle and Shaheen have the biggest percentage of chance to win. If it's Joe and Eva sitting with them at the final two, I mean, as the other two in the final three, yeah, absolutely. Justice for Star. God damn it. Is this how you found out, Dirt? Damn it. Yeah, dude. Justice for Star. That's what I wrote. What a stupid group of people. And I wrote, and I was like, man, I'm kind of salty at Mary, but I was like, geez, next week I hope she wins immunity. I hope she wins immunity just because she's going to be the easy target next week for the rest of these dumb bozo idiots who are too afraid to flip on one another.
I don't know. It makes no sense. This is going to make you even more mad. Dirt, listen to this. This is going to make you more mad. Star had a deleted scene, right, from last week where she's trying to go up and strategize with everybody, and they just like blow her off. They just like totally blow her off. And Joe, excuse me, and Joe goes out of his way to tell Star, like, hey, I'm not even thinking about final three. Yeah, Star's asking Joe, like, who do you see yourself in the final three with? Like, this is an appropriate time to be asking this question. There's like 7 days left. She's asking this on night 17 out of 26 days. This isn't a crazy thing to say, Joe. And out of nowhere, Joe's like, hey, I'm not even thinking about that. That's a bit of ways away. What are you talking? And then Stars in a confessional is like, bullshit, bullshit, Joe. She should have cut a freestyle rap on his ass right there. She shouldn't have waited for a confessional. She should have done it right then and there. She should have said, like, boom, Shaheen, give me a beat. And he should have came in with the beat because, he's good at that. And he should have, put his ass in the dirt right there. Star Toomey for president. Okay. This is a disgrace. This episode was something else, right? Uh, this season, I was enjoying it at first, and it seems like it's taking a turn. It is taking a turn. I'm not enjoying it as much as I did the past two, and it's funny, I really didn't even cover the past two here on the channel in depth, in full, like I have this one. A little bit disappointed. Like I said, man, if Thomas had stuck around, maybe things would have been a little bit different. But this is the way the cards fell, right? This is the way the cards fell, and the season's not over, right? This is just me wearing my heart on my sleeve. A little bit disappointed. Star Toomey getting voted out. I mean, how could you not be? It's a devastating, huge blow to the Survivor community. I feel for everyone on Reddit, all of Star's fans. I know that she will come back even stronger in whatever she does. I'm sure she's getting calls from the challenge. I'm sure she's getting calls from Big Brother. Everyone's going to be clamoring for Star. There's going to be a mass want for more Star amongst reality TV fans. I have a feeling. Mary better win the whole thing now. Dude, she should. I mean, if Mary won the whole thing, I'd be down with that. She used her shot in the dark early in this episode. She doesn't even have that. So for her to go all the way to the end and win, I think Joe and Eva might be, meat-headed out enough to take Mary to the end. I think they might be meat-headed out enough to take Mary to the end. Like, if they take Mitch to the end, he could win. Shit. I don't know. I just don't think that jury, these people that Eva and Joe are voting out, I don't think they're going to vote for either one of them. And I feel like if Joe is there with Eva, he's going to be like, if you're going to vote for me, give him to her. If you're going to vote for me, give him to her. And if he does that, I'm going to puke on my television remote. Okay, like, God, dude. Ah, God. All right, peace Star to me. You're not even kidding, dude. Just the bad sour taste that this episode left in my mouth is appalling, right? So if you want people that think logically under critical circumstances, you can always cast me, Jeff. I'm always available. You can just give me a call. I'll gladly go out there on the island and strategize and, you know, um, try to do my best to make Star proud because that's really the end goal now, right? I feel like for any Survivor player now is probably going to be to avenge Star, right? It's probably going to be to avenge Star. Um, yeah, I mean Star, the one of the greats, gone too soon. Gone too soon. Well, that's it. That's been Survivor Digest, guys. I usually do like a little power ranking when I'm on the computer of everybody that's left. But like I said, everybody's just fallen this episode, in my opinion. In my opinion, everybody has just kind of tanked. Everybody made the dumb decision for Star, even though some people were voting Mary. The people that voted Mary, they're still not as smart. They're still not as smart. Go for one of these strong guys. Why are we not taking out one of the big guys who's got something at the end? I do not get it. Eva wasn't looking at anything, at Tribal, and you guys she's got safety without power. And Here's another thing. I think Eva, the only opportunity that she's allowed to use safety without power is next episode. I think that's the last time she can use it, is that final six or whatever. And if she uses safety without power next episode on herself, that would screw her tribe over. I feel like that would screw her Integrity Alliance over. That would make them lose a vote. And I don't think she's going to use it. I don't think she's going to use it on herself. I don't know if you're allowed to use it on another player and just make another player get up and leave tribal council and not have a vote and just go back. I mean, you're safe, but you don't get to vote, and you have to go back to camp. You don't get to heal tribal. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, to use it on someone else. If she uses it on someone else, major props. That would be amazing. That would be a smart idea. But if they allowed it, if it's within the Survivor rules there, I don't know. But yeah, dude, she's got to use that. And then she's also got the immunity idol, which, let me remind you, Dirt, here's another dagger right into the heart that is Star Toomey fans. Eva was gifted a idol by Star. Star found an immunity idol, couldn't unlock the cryptic to get it open. Eva got the cryptic unlocked. Star so impressed with Eva after she had a meltdown at a previous reward challenge that Star was impressed with her overcoming that and breaking the cryptic that she decided to gift her. Now, if there's any time to be a regifter, a ungifter here for Star, I think it was now. I think Star, I mean, you pull out anything you can, right? You're trying to stay in the game. You're trying to ride this thing out to the end. Pull out anything you can. I would have asked the tribal. I'd have been like, "Can I have my idol back? Do you have my idol?" I would just would have said that. Do you have my hey, Eva? Do you have my idol? I need that. I need that right now, right? And then even if she said, "Well, you gave it to me," I would be like, "Can I have it back? Hey, Jeff, can I ask for it back? Is that cool if I get it back? Because I was just trying to get her to hold it." I would pull some shit like that for sure, for sure. Dude, I don't know, Dirt. I don't know how much betrayal I could take. I didn't even want to recap this episode because it pissed me off so much. Right? Kyle disrupting his service last week with this whole quote unquote sob story about how, his family was able to get him great lawyers, and then you got this week where he's, doubling down and not sticking with his number two and Camilla, who's been ride or die with him this whole time because he's afraid that the Integrity Alliance will be mad at him or whatever it may be. Like, dude, pick a side, bozo. Pick a side. Bunch of bozos out there, dude. Like, God, dude. I'm not calling Star a bozo, right? I think Star just went out the way Star wants to go out, and the way Star would do. And props to her for not turning around and wishing anybody good luck and just kind of walking off the island with major grace. But she should have. She should have asked for that idol back, regardless of how awkward or crazy it would have been. I would have done it. I would have been grasping at anything I possibly could there, especially if I know my name is being written down even once. Even if I know one vote's coming my way, I'm going to try to get anything that could possibly save me back into my possession. And I believe Star should have taken that route, but she did not. She did not. And we have lost Star Toomey. We will continue our recaps of Survivor here. Probably next Thursday. Probably next Thursday, same time this time. I might just keep doing them from the phone. I don't know if I'm going to go back to doing them on the computer in the studio. I kind of like having a night off from the computer. And I've been going live every night on the computer and on the phone for quite a while, since a little bit before WrestleMania. So, and I've just got this new program on the phone, and it works pretty good. It works pretty good, and I can see the chat, and it's good quality, so not too much I can complain about there. Shout out to Jacob for letting me use Small Boy Studios to record and live stream this episode for you here on the Slipperhouse Extra Extra YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe if you're watching the playback. Thank you to Mike and Dirt for being here in the chat and hanging out during this Survivor Digest. We'll recap next week, Thursday. Don't forget to check out Pro Wrestling Sauce Wednesdays at 10:15, House Assembly Sundays at 9, and all the other fun live streaming content that we have here on the Silverhouse Extra Extra YouTube channel. I've been Josh O'Leary. You guys have a good night. Well, Derry, you have a good night. I think you're the only one in here. But yeah, I'll see you on Discord. All right, everybody. Peace.